Hey guys, I'm back for day 12 with a 100 movie in 31 day horror challenge. I started off with a monster movie, not a horror movie. This is King Kong, the Peter Jackson remake, 2005 or 6, I believe. Uh, there's a Blu-ray out that's got the uncut version. This is the old DVD that I had. It looks good. I think this is a really good movie. It does, obviously, the big knock on it is it takes forever to get going, and it takes almost an hour, 54 minutes before they step foot on the island. But once they step foot on the island, man, it's nonstop. And the motion capture effects in this film were state of the art and innovative for the time, and they were great. Just great special effects. In fact, the film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards for the special effects and other things. I think it won all but one of those awards. Peter Jackson was a huge fan since childhood of the 1933 film. And so he wanted to do it right. I think he was apparently Universal, when they offered him this, they offered him The Creature from the Black Lagoon first, and he turned that down. But he took King Kong because I think he was afraid that someone else's hands, they'd screw it up. So he did a great homage to the 33 film. It's just a little long. I mean, I think they could have taken 30 minutes out of the first hour and then inserted the uncut action sequences in the film and kept it at 3 hours, and it'd have been even better. But it's a great film. Naomi Watts plays the Fay Wray character, and apparently she met with Fay Wray before she died. I think they were going to have Fay Wray have a cameo at the end and say the Beauty and the Beast, it was Beauty that killed the Beast line, but she died just before this was finished. I liked Jack Black in this. I thought he did a good job with Carl Denham. He apparently, the role, he kind of mirrored Orson Welles type as a character. He kind of mimicked it after Orson Welles. I thought it was good, very good. And I tell you, once they step foot on the island, and the cannibal islanders that were in this thing were just great. I mean, it was fantastic. The film grossed $500 million on a $200 million budget. Apparently, Peter Jackson covered $30 million of that. It was out of his own pocket, which is surprising. Another factoid was that he really didn't want to do it. You know, I think he was just, again, he was fearful that this would not be done with the correct homage to the original film, which he loved dearly. And I think he was in between Lord of the Rings movies at that point. But so eventually, obviously, he did do the film. The film also, when it was released on DVD, just blew out the world. I mean, it was $100 million of sales. It was like the 7th highest revenue base for Universal of all time. I liked it a lot. I'll have to get the Blu-ray and watch the uncut version, which I haven't actually seen. I know it adds a lot of action sequences to it, so I'm looking forward to that. And then there's still a bunch of special features on this. There's no commentary on this one. The Blu-ray has a commentary. But I think people should give this a reprisal. This is a very good and entertaining 3 hours. So with that, I'm going to take a small break and then get back to the rest of what I watched on day 12. Thanks.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this. And now, on with the show.
All right, finishing up on day 12, I watched Van Helsing, 2004 movie. It's a kind of a homage to the old Universal horror movies. It's a monster mash. It's got Dr. Hyde in it. It's got Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. It's really kind of Indiana Jones meets the Universal monsters, with Hugh Jackman playing an action kind of figure of Van Helsing. It's even got kind of a, not a ripoff, but maybe a homage to all the James Bond movies when he getting ready to go and do battle with the Dracula in particular. He goes to this monastery and he goes to the mad monk that produces all his weapons of destruction, just like in the James Bond movies. You know, I wanted to like this movie, but the CGI just took me out of it. I just couldn't get into it. The Hyde character was horrible. I like the Hyde character, but the CGI was so bad. There's a lot of good things about this, but a lot of bad things about this. For example, I think the female vampires were gorgeous, particularly the redhead. And when they transform to the winged vampires, that looks good. I thought that worked. I thought Frankenstein's monster looked great. I liked it a lot. I thought the Wolfman sucked. Horrible. And it got worse, progressively worse, as the movie was wrapping up. I thought the guy that played Dracula, he's an Australian actor. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I thought he was terribly miscast. He was he didn't bring any kind of sense of menace, or he didn't command the screen like many of the other actors that have portrayed Dracula. That's a tough character to play, but I think he gave it an honest attempt, but he was miscast, terribly miscast as Dracula. Kate Beckinsale was great. I mean, she's great looking eye candy, so that worked. But yeah, the film unfortunately degenerates in the last hour into just a series of nonstop CGI action fest. And the guy that directed it, I think it's Stephen Sommers, I believe. It's the same guy that directed all the Mummy reboots. So, and those are basically Indiana Jones action movies too. So this is a similar deal. I wanted to like it. I just couldn't. The CGI just takes me out of it. I know a lot of people have complained about the CGI, so I guess I'm going to have to belabor that point as well. Then we have I, Frankenstein, and I watched this in 3D. Aaron Eckhart plays Frankenstein's monster, which is basically, he's not really a monster. He's just a human with a couple face scars and his superhuman strength. And he is caught in the middle of a war between gargoyles that are angelic gargoyles and demons. And the demons are trying to capture Frankenstein's monster, or the secret of bringing soulless corpses to life so that they can inherit those corpses and take over the world, basically. And the gargoyles are trying to stop him and save humanity. He's caught in the middle. And this is another more of an action film than a horror movie. And lots of CGI. CGI is pretty good in this, but I would still say that it got to be tedious. So I have to give this a 5 out of 10, as well as Van Helsing is a 5 out of 10. Then things picked up with a nice finale. I watched Bone Tomahawk. A guy named Zeller. Look, it's Craig Zeller. Zeller wrote the screenplay. It's his first debut movie as writing of the screenplay and the directing. And he did an outstanding job. We got to give it to him. This is a horror western. And if you don't think this is a horror movie and it's more of a western, watch the last 40 minutes of it and then come back and tell me. Because it's some of the most horrific scenes that you will ever see in any horror movie. Basically, Kurt Russell, with a group of his partners, goes out to try to run off some Indian cannibals that have been terrorizing the town. And these guys are really brutal. And the film is very brutal. I'd say the last 45 minutes is some very tough, brutal watching. But wow, that's just a great movie, a great build-up story, and an awesome western and an awesome horror movie. So it's 8 out of 10 on Bone Tomahawk. Highly recommend this if you haven't seen it. Kind of sparse special features. This is an RIJ release, RLJ. Sparse special features. I would have loved to have had a commentary from the director on that. I do have a Blu-ray pickup to finish out the day. It came in. I had this on order. This is the collector's edition of The Thing, and this is a triple dip. It's a disease. I've talked about it before, but I just had to have this for the screen, the quality of the print, the Scream Factory release. I just want to see how good this looks. This has the DVD. I think it still has the same documentary, 90-minute or 2-hour documentary that the old DVD has, but it also has some new special features as well. So I will be going through this. I don't know if I'm going to watch this for the 31 days of horror. It's not in my stack, but I will get to it and do a review at some point. Alrighty, well, that wraps up day 12, and we're going to keep going until we get to 31. I appreciate you watching.